The Power Station.
Ghana's Gold. Radio Gold.
Well, taking us exactly 14 minutes past 9 here in the studios of Radio Gold 90.5 FM. Today is Wednesday, 5th day of August 2026. Let's acknowledge our partners, Ekpele 104.3 FM in Likpe Todume in the OT region. They are the voice from afar. We are live on Facebook, Radio Gold 905 FM. Our guest in studio is Kevor Eastern Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Technical Advisor to the Ministry of Communications. Dr. Mark Oliver Kevor. The one thing you don't know about him, and I found out recently, that he was a contestant on the National Science and Maths Quiz. So I was wondering at what point in time. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're well.
I'm good. And you?
I'm also doing well.
Yeah.
I'm also doing well. Because I was thinking, if you're thinking about the trajectory of someone who appears on the National Science and Maths Quiz, you never think regional secretary of a party. Then regional chairman, like mainstay politics. How did that happen?
Well, so the Science and Maths Quiz was back in 1999.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was in St. Peter's Secondary School.
Okay.
And selection to be part of the Science and Maths Quiz is a very rigorous exercise.
Okay.
So for those who are now in what we call the category A schools, they understand what it means to come out like that.
Okay.
Coming from a public primary GSS and entering into St. Peter's Secondary School. I knew that I was a good student, but you were also going to meet people who had come from equally very good private schools from Accra, from Kumasi, from all the big, basic schools at that time. Okay. So from first year, I did not see myself as being part of the Science and Maths quiz. Okay. But the selection happens in the second year. Okay. And they look at your performance in some key subjects. Okay. And one of the things that I was gifted with is mathematics. Okay. So
you're good in maths?
Yes. So from first year to final year, nobody beat me in mathematics.
Oh, really?
Yes. From first year to final year. You can take all the subjects, but
maths,
not my mathematics. Yes. So that was one thing that the trainers at that time saw in me, that I was very fast and my accuracy rate was very high and all that. And equally, that was the first time that GS had introduced 4 electives for science students. Okay. Initially, you do only physics, chemistry, mathematics, or physics, chemistry, biology. Okay. So for the first time, they said you could do physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. At the same time. Yeah. So my father was more like a biology. He was in the biology side. Okay. So from home, that was also something that was natural to me. Okay. So they found out that with my mathematics,
you can do physics, chemistry,
and my biology side, I could lead the Science and Maths Quiz team. Okay. Yes, and that is how come
you ended up there.
I ended up there, and then we went into semi-finals. Okay. Yeah, I remember that day very well against Wesley Girls, and being in a boys' school, seeing competition between just boys, at that time, my perception about women and their competencies changed. Yes, that particular contest changed.
When you took them on?
Yes. Okay. And at the end of the day, they beat us. Yes. So we were eliminated in the semi-finals by Wesley Girls. And that is how my perception about women in science also changed. And it was further entrenched when I entered KNUST to read electrical engineering. Okay. Yeah, and at that time, to do electrical engineering, you should be getting a single aggregate, either 6 or 7. Okay. And 7 for women, 6 for men. Yeah. Okay. So it was very, very, very competitive at that time. Okay. But we found some women also coming in to do
The
electrical engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them are working with ECG, VRA, and some of them were also working with MTN and the big techs. So that is about my
road in science.
Roads in science. So I went on trained to become an engineer, an electrical engineer by profession. And I love teaching also.
You teach?
Yes, I've been teaching for the past 18 years in the university.
You still lecture?
Yes, so that has been my profession. I've been teaching for the past 18 years until I was appointed as Director General, where I took a leave. Yes, I took leave of absence to work. So whilst I was doing the politics, for at the regional levels, politics is not a full-time job. You are not paid as being a regional secretary, for being a regional chairman, and all that.
So you need to work.
So my interest in the NDC actually started from the university. When we joined the team at the university.
So you started at the team?
Yes, at the team. So I'm a product of the team level. So when I started teaching in the university also, I helped inaugurated the team. I started teaching at the Presbyterian University College at a very early age, around 22 years. I started teaching in the university.
Really?
Yes.
22
years. Yes. So my students, some of them who
were
working now, some of them were even older than me. So in the university, I had the opportunity to be attending radio programs around. And started as a social commentator. But my views consistently tend to align with the NDC. NDC was in opposition at that time. And looking at my environment, because I was in the Kwao area. And you find out that being in the Kwao area, typically you are naturally to grow to be an MPP person.
Yes. And I was coming to ask that because I knew the environment to grow in. And then you ended up in Tech 2. I ended up in Tech 2 in Asante region. So naturally you may be shaped. But those were the times that President Kevor was president. So between the 2001 to 2005, when I was in Tech, to when I started teaching in the university before 2009, it was the MPP era. So we were, fighting to make sure that era was ended and Professor Mills becomes president. So I started from the ground. I said, no, I want to learn the politics in a practitioner way. So I gave myself the opportunity to learn. I became a branch secretary in my local area. And then went ahead and contested as a constituency youth organizer. So I became branch from constituency
to constituency youth organizer. So by 2009, I was a constituency youth organizer. While still communicating for the party on air. And that was when I met Dr. Omane Boamah for the first time.
When we were a constituency youth organizer.
Yes. And they had come as young appointees of government to do a sensitization of what government was doing. He came with my brother James Ajenim Boateng and Stan Dogbe. They had come to the Kwao area and they assigned themselves radio stations. And we, those who were regular NDC panel on air, they attached us to them. So my very good brother Omane Boamah was attached to me on a radio station in Abitifi at that time called High FM. And then James Ajenim Boateng was attached to my brother Dallas, who is now the NIA spokesperson. At that time, he was also a constituency youth organizer from Koko. And then my current regional director of elections, Ali Sidi Bello, he was attached to Stan Dogbe for another radio station. So that is the day that they went to eat kokunte at some, bush canteen, and Daily Guide captured them on their front page. I'm sure James and Stan will remember that particular story. So on that particular day, that was when I struck acquaintance with Dr. Omane Boamah. And he's somebody who is intrigued by academic excellence.
Okay.
So after the show, he asked me what I was doing, and I told him, as my background, I told him I'm an electrical engineer. And he knows what it takes to enter KNUST to be trained as an electrical engineer, because it was similar to medicine.
Yes.
I could have done medicine. I could have chosen any other science-related course of that caliber. So it was a prestige to do electrical engineering. It was a prestige to do medicine.
Okay.
So he started taking interest in me.
Okay.
And then, we exchanged contacts, and then, we started working together. So most of the things about the region and all that, he would give me assignments to do and all, until we won power again in 2012.
Okay.
By 2012, I had been assigned a role as part of the regional elections directorate. That was the first time NDC was formalizing its elections directorate.
Okay. In 2012.
In 2012. We did not have a standing unit in the party called elections directorate.
Okay.
So when it gets to elections, all executives, whether you were competent or not, took part in the elections.
Okay.
So that was the first time.
2012. For the 2012 elections,
for the
that
2012
structure
elections, that structure was introduced.
Okay.
Under Sir Potofi.
Okay.
So he became the first national director of elections.
Okay.
And he recruited regional elections directorate members and constituency elections directorate members. Okay. So I was part of the first 5-member regional elections directorate, based on my background as an IT person.
Okay.
So I was the IT person in the elections directorate.
Okay.
And I helped recruited many of the elections directorate that we trained at the constituency levels. So we were the pioneer elections directorate. So during the 2012 elections, my interactions with Dr. Omane Boamah increased, because whenever he wanted to find out the state of the elections in the region and all that, I was the person that he would call and find out and all that. So after the elections, we won in 2012, and by 2014, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, because Dr. Mane was also made a Minister for Communications, I was considered to be on the board of the National Communications Authority. Okay. And to support, in the communications industry. Okay. Because of my background also as an electrical engineer. Okay. Because if you look at the structure of the board, they are very specific that there should be somebody who has knowledge in electrical engineering on there. So I fitted very well in being a party person and with my professional background. Now, then I contested as regional secretary from constituency youth organizer.
You're now contesting
a member of the regional elections directorate, because I had also interacted with the party people during the elections and all that. They had come to know me. Okay. Fortunately for me, the regional secretary at that time, Honorable Anthony Jampo, who had served for close to 12 to 16 years, had decided not to contest again. Okay. So it became an open contest for us. At that time, I was 32 years. Yes.
When you were contesting?
When I was contesting. So if you could see the generational gap between my predecessor and myself. Okay. So I had to work very hard for the people to understand that generational switch. Okay. Because they had seen a regional secretary who is old. Yes. Much more experience and all that. And to transit to a much younger regional secretary, it was a difficult thing for most of them to accept at that time. Okay. But I worked hard and won overwhelmingly. Okay. At that regional conference. And my chairman at that time, Bismarck Tibia Boatin, I call my uncle. He also was the regional organizer at that time. Okay. And the chairmanship too had become vacant because Honorable Julius Debra had been appointed minister at that time.
He was stepping out of that
role.
So
he was stepping out of that role. Okay. So we came in new regional chairman, new regional secretary, and we did a baseline study and found out that Eastern region, NDC had won before.
Okay.
We had won in 1992. We had won in 1996.
Okay.
So basically, MPP was, carrying only one region along. Okay. We lost Eastern region in 2000, and since then,
you were losing the region.
Closest we had come was 42%.
Okay.
But if you look at the region, mm-hmm. and you look at the nature of the region, we thought that we could still pluck back the gains. Okay. We could go back to our old glories and make Eastern region another stronghold of the NDC. Okay. And that is how we started with the Agenda 50-50 concept. Okay. So it's been a concept that we have been working with. Okay. And truth be told, if you look at the trajectory of elections since 2016, mm-hmm. even though we don't win, if you look at the new votes that come, mm-hmm. we are almost plateauing with the MPP. Okay. Until 2024, okay. when we won. Because for me, I think that it was a win for us in the region. Okay. Because to move from 38% to 47%, in the Eastern region, that is a victory for you. Yes. So for us, we are very close to the Agenda 50-50 that we have dreamt of. And if you look at recent polls from Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwas, they are actually predicting that when we continue on this trajectory, the next election, we are likely to win Eastern region by 53%. Okay. All the polls that he has done since 2025 till now, he puts NDC at 53% in the Eastern region. And that is what motivates me. That is what I think will be something that wherever Dr. Omane Boamah is, he will smile at when he sees this particular result. He will know that the work that we began, the dream that we dreamed together, we are getting the fruits at this particular time. So that is how politics has become part of me, now.
Interesting. I see. And okay, because Dr. Omane Boamah's name, tomorrow is exactly a year since that tragic accident happened. Yeah. I don't know how much you feel like when you remember the first time you heard the story that this is what had happened.
Yeah.
1 year on, have the feelings changed or still the same?
It still seems fresh to me because for me it's a personal loss. Mm-hmm. It's a personal loss, especially on that particular day. I was in the village where the incident happened.
Okay.
I was in the village because I had gone ahead of him to Obuasi.
You were there?
I was there.
The grounds where he was supposed to
arrive at. We had communicated in the morning. He had told me they were going to set off. We had a number of issues that we had discussed in the morning. He has given some assignments for me to do. And I had told him that I had taken Passion Air already with my regional minister. We are in Kumasi. We are heading towards Obuasi. Mm-hmm. So we will be waiting for him. So I was in Obuasi at that time when we heard that a helicopter had false landed. That was the first news that we heard.
False landed?
That a helicopter had false landed somewhere in the bush. Okay. So the regional minister had to cut, the Asante regional minister had to cut his speech short. Okay. And then we set out to move there. So along the way, all my thoughts was that we were going to rescue them and then drive them through to the program. Remember it was
a false landing.
A false landing.
Yes.
That was the news that we heard.
Yeah.
So I joined the convoy to the village. It was about close to 2 hours from Obuasi.
Okay.
Yes, close to 2 hours from Obuasi. So along the way, then we started hearing news. Then on social media, we started seeing videos, started seeing pictures. So that was when it struck me that possibly a tragedy had happened. So I still insisted I wanted to go to the village. So we got to the village and we could still see smoke, from the forest. So some of the village folks, were discussing it. And they said some of them had gone there earlier on and they have seen that the whole plane and everything in there is totally bent. Wow. Then that was how it struck me. So I asked myself, did my boss bring me here to say goodbye to me? I was mortified. Then, unfortunately, in the afternoon, we saw the news from the chief of staff that this is what had happened. In fact, it became a long journey back to Kevor, because then I started receiving calls. Because apparently the mother was watching TV3 at that time.
Oh, when the announcement
was made. So quickly I had to call some senior people in Kevor to quickly move to her mother's house so that they stay with her and then, have a doctor on standby to make sure that if, at her age, if there's any incident, they can quickly deal with it. Then the chief of staff called that they were coming to Kevor to the family. And Onabakando called, and some few others, Obobia and others called. That was when the reality started dawning on me that if there's any expectation that possibly he's hanging on a tree somewhere or he has used his creative mind to escape the disaster, I might be mistaken. Then I had to move back. In fact, we had to do the return journey by road, even though we had gone by air, because I couldn't wait to go back to Kumasi, wait for my flight and return. So we returned to Kevor and then that is what happened. Yeah, it still seems fresh. The conversation we had in the morning. We had a 3-way conference call also with one of my very good friends, Chekedako, who was also close to Dr. Omane Boamah. We had a 3-way conference call and discussed a number of things. And all those started playing out. He had asked me to specifically also arrange a meeting for him on that day with my regional women organizer on his return. So that evening, my regional women organizer was supposed to meet him and discuss some issues concerning the women's wing in the region. So all these things were playing back, and now we give everything to God. That is what we can say. Yesterday I was at his public lecture. I'm very happy that all the testimonies of him are very positive. They are consistent. They are not contrived testimony. You will find consistency in all the things that people say about him.
Were they right about him? We were close to him, because there's a tendency that they say when people die, do not speak evil of the dead. It's an African principle.
Yes.
Are people trying just not to speak evil of him because he's dead, or exactly what they say is what you experienced?
He's human, like all of us. He has his negatives. Sometimes we disagree on certain things, on the way he does some of his things. People feel that possibly he even has relationship issues. Because of the way he will deal with you and all that. He's a straightforward person.
Yes, I know.
So
him.
things that you think, oh, this one there, he should have covered it and be polite and be diplomatic about it. Won't happen. You understand? He will be straight with you.
Yeah.
The next day, he will be talking to you as if nothing has happened.
Yeah.
You understand that? Yeah. So if you are not trained to tolerate those things, you may not like him.
Yeah.
You understand that? But in terms of his incorruptibility, in terms of his discipline, in terms of his intellectual prowess, you can't take it away from him. You understand that? He's a rare politician. You understand that? He's the one that will not be afraid to offend you as long as he thinks it is right. So you will feel that he's stepping on your toes because he's doing what is exactly right. And that is one of the things that I told him when I was encouraging him to pick up the position of the director of elections.
Okay.
Because I told him that what we need to win the 2024 elections is discipline.
Okay.
If you leave everybody to do whatever he wants, people will cut corners. Things that should go, it won't go. Things that must move, it won't move. If you ask people to follow a particular directive, they may not be able to do. But you are the only person who will be able to insist that those things must be done among the names that came at that time.
So it was something he deliberated on.
Yes.
He didn't immediately accept.
No. He had to. I'm sure he has a number of other people he will consult. He has a number of other people that he will consult. And fortunately, some of us happen to be one of them because he has some belief in my understanding of the practicality of the job.
Okay.
In terms of the practice of the politics on the ground, he has so much faith in me that once I give a particular suggestion, 99% of the time, those suggestions will be right. Okay. So, I told him that, yes, again, he also comes with a certain convening strength. Okay. If I ask all former ministers to come and sit in a classroom to be taught how elections are done, the probability that only 3 out of 100 will come is very high.
Yes.
You understand that? But when he, because of his stature, calls people like Madame Marietta,
yes,
that they should all come and sit down. Yes, we know that you are senior politicians, but this is elections. Don't assume you know. All of you, we are all starting from
ground zero.
Yeah. Let everybody. So senior people like Tony Lita and Marietta Brew, they brought all the lawyers in the party to the classroom to make sure that we are all starting to understand how elections are run in the country, and to fix all the loopholes. That we hadn't done previously in previous elections. So he had that convening power also, and that was one strength that we saw in him. That when he takes that role, he will bring discipline to our elections. And that this is the first time that directors of elections wrote exams.
Yes. Some people were not happy, but
some were not happy.
The only way out.
But that he said, yes, elections. That is the only objective way of knowing whether you understand elections or not. Yeah. People will say, we have done this
for many years.
We are the experienced people, but that's why we are losing. Yeah. He will tell you that, but that is why we are losing. Proof that you know.
Okay.
Because interpreting what is on the pink sheet is a textual thing. Okay. No amount of your years of experience, if you have no knowledge of what is on the pink sheet, you do us no good. And that is the reason why, for the first time, uncomfortably, he insisted that directors of elections write exams, and he set high, benchmarks, for them. And he will recruit people that you cannot go and talk to and say, please consider me. So he will bring somebody like Stan Dugbe and somebody like my former NSS board.
Okay.
You understand that? People, you cannot go and stand in their face and say that, oh, mini penny, when you're 14 to so on, I'm a pedo. So consider, no, they will not look at your face. And at that time, everybody is hungry for power. So nobody is ready to cut corners. So that is
an interesting approach.
That is, yes. So he changed our way of doing elections. And I was hoping that his longer stay on it would have helped better institutionalize it in our body politics. Even though I've not seen any deviation so far.
Okay.
For me, my idea is
sticking to the script.
Sticking to the script so far. I've not seen any, challenges so far.
Okay.
I'm yet to see how he withstands interference.
Okay.
Because your party people, especially those who are elected, are likely, because you are an appointed executive, they are likely to push you around. Because people may have their own interests. I'm yet to see how he withstands those things, because that is one thing you cannot do to Dr. Omane Boamah. He would say that, then take your job and let me move away. You understand that? Instead of compromising, he will tell you that, no, then if this is what you want me to do, if you don't allow me to do this, then take your job. Okay. Because once he picks up the position, he is at risk of being blamed for our loss or taking credit for our victory. Okay. Because if you look at the history, in 2016, when we lost, he was very down, because most of the blames, when he thought it was deliberately targeted at him. That is the one that has made us. There were a lot of publications from different corners. In fact, he felt that even the whole Kwesi investigation was orchestrated by certain people towards him, making sure that they discredit him. So, at a point in time, he had decided to stay off anything.
Okay.
You understand that. But for his unflinching loyalty to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, if, for example, His Excellency has said he will not contest again, I'm sure he would have hesitated with him at that time. But he was reminded that this man is going to go through another 4 years again. And when he loses, then what happens? You understand that? So he was going to retire. He was saying that, for him, he has reached his, the Maslow's theory.
Yes.
He thought that he had reached where he has reached the peak, from being considered and appointed minister before 40 years. He thought that was all for him. He was going to retire and then take care of his kids, and he was also going to retire as a school proprietor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That was what?
That was all his dream. He was going to build a secondary school, a model secondary school in the Eastern region. He himself will be involved in teaching. He was still teaching his kids.
That's quite interesting. He was not thinking about going back into medical practice.
No. Even post the 2024 victory, it took some people to convince him to take a ministerial appointment.
Really?
Yes. He wanted to exit, build a school. He had access to glue for land. We had designed, the model school and all that.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to build a model school from basic school to the secondary school. That would be
and he ran it himself.
He ran it himself. That was what he was going to do with his retirement.
I see.
Then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's love. So he had to move on from what he thought was disappointment, betrayal. He thought people's colleagues he had helped and all that during the post 2016 blames and all that. Some of them could not stand up for him and all that, and he thought people were deliberately coached to line up during the constitutional elections to make allegations and to say things that will point our defeat towards him and his colleagues at that time. So coming up of that was very, very difficult for him. But he still did not lose sight of the region. He's continued to support us. Myself, it became an issue for me in 2018 when I was going for my re-election as regional secretary, because we had just lost the election. But people saw us on the ground. They saw our engagement with the people. And that was how come, despite forces from different quarters, we were able to renew our mandate overwhelmingly. We won overwhelmingly, in that elections again.
I want to find out from you, because I think we have some 10 more minutes to go.
Oh, wow.
So I want to find out from you, for you, he's lost. What will be the greatest loss when it comes to his absence from the way things are run now? Because he was an important part of the structure that he himself had helped forge around NDC elections to the 2024 elections. Him exiting, what would he change for you?
Yeah, a lot. Like I said, we will need to deliberately instill that sense of discipline, that sense of agency that will attach to our elections. Elections are no more business as usual. You know that he commissioned us, about 5 of us, led by Professor Dudu, to do a baseline study of how rigging occurs in Ashanti region and Eastern region.
Steady?
Yes, we were in Manshia South for 3 months. We slept in Manshia South for 3 months. So the Manshia South people, they know me very well as if I'm part of their constituency. The current Manshia South people. We had the opportunity to study. And when we were done, we concluded that if rigging is minimized in Ashanti region by just 20%, there's no way MPP can win elections in this region, in this country.
Minimized by just
20%. If the rigging that goes on in Ashanti region is minimized by just 20%. If it is minimized in the Eastern region by just 5%, that is the end of MPP. And that is the baseline that we entered Eastern and Ashanti region with.
I see.
Professor Dudu led the study. Myself, my friend Jekedakon, Dallas, and others, we were in there, guided by Dr. Valerie Sawyer, Standugbe. We were in there for 3 continuous months. We were lucky, that at that time, the constituency had not done. It was one of the last constituency parliamentary primaries we had to conduct. And we had to help them develop their register and then conduct the election. So for them in the constituency, they thought that was our mandate.
The job
that we came to do, to make sure that they elect a parliamentary candidate. But underneath it was a whole study of the Ashanti region, using Manshia South as a case study, and how we could minimize rigging there. Because the things that happens there, it will blow your mind. But that is for our internal party consumption.
Okay, and now I understand the relationship. It looks like the two of you are men of science.
Exactly.
Everything has to be
and he's very scientific, very methodological. You need to give evidence to back everything that you do. And you need that repeatability. So that's why I'm hoping that we are able to, follow that roadmap. The template, the framework that has been developed for 2024, maybe with a few tweaks, a few improvements, because new things happen. If you are able to follow those things, and now he has become a symbol of electoral vigilance. You remember the famous activate all body cameras, and then people were looking for physical cameras. But his whole concept is that when you are going into an election, all your 5 senses must work.
Okay.
Your ears, your eyes, your nose, your tongue, all your skin, all your 5 senses, and that is your body camera.
Okay.
So that is what we call vigilance.
Okay.
Because at that time,
activate
all body cameras means now.
Oh, your senses must
now come to play at this time, and not that we have installed body cameras on people.
Oh, okay.
Then people got confused.
It was about vigilance.
It was about vigilance.
All your senses must be aware at this time.
Must be aware at that time. And our party people responded. They know what to do at every stage. They know before the elections what you have to look out for. During the election, what you have to look out for. When elections closed and the ballot has not been counted yet, what you have to look out for. When the ballot is counted and the pink sheet is being filled, what you have to look out for. After the pink sheets have been signed and it is being returned to the collation center, what you have to look out for. So you must activate all body cameras. So he has become a symbol of electoral vigilance. Because you can work throughout during the campaign, you can see sometimes the flag bearer's voice is losing out. Look at all the struggles, but the people can buy your message. But on election day, it is what is on the pink sheet that will count.
That will determine whether you
have won or not.
Okay, so and this is quite an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And I can understand because you were talking about the agenda 50-50 in the Eastern region that you're close to. So now you are like, is it 3 percentage points?
Yeah, almost 3%. Less than 3%.
Less than 3%. Okay.
Because 47.4. So less than 3%.
You are close to that.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised when I heard you had left NITA because of the party's directives.
Yes.
That you either choose to work within the party structure or you stay on your appointments.
Yeah.
NITA was, you are an electrical engineer, an IT person, provided you an opportunity to put your skills to work.
Yeah.
But somehow you decided, I still want to do the party.
Yeah.
Well, is it the unfinished business part?
Exactly. And here we had taken even this decision before we lost Dr. Omane Boamah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it had come up in one of our NEC meetings.
Okay.
That all those holding, it had not been put into our regulation yet.
Okay.
But there had been a proposal that all those holding 2 positions.
Okay. So
government
position within the party.
Yes, should resign.
Okay.
That proposal did not go through.
Okay.
NEC rejected that proposal at that time. We felt that, we should be allowed to continue to work until the next election.
Okay.
So when it came up from the beginning, we discussed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then said that, okay, so if we decide that if that decision goes through, what should happen? Then among us, we decided that if it should happen that way, I'll have to resign from NITA and concentrate on the party's agenda in the region.
Okay.
Because Eastern region, you will need somebody with a strategic vision, somebody who understands what we are doing to get where we are going to be able to lead. You can say, you can still be a NITA and still be help supporting the party and all that, but you will not be taking decisions.
Okay.
That is different thing. And that our structure is such that the regions are semi-autonomous.
Okay.
There's little national directs.
Okay.
Most of the things are local.
Okay.
So most of the decisions that you do,
you have to make the decisions.
So the quality of decisions that comes up impacts us.
Okay.
We are also confronted with the creme de la creme of the MPPs in the region.
Okay.
If you look at the Kwao zone, for example, you have Dr. Brian Champong, very resourceful, who is also so much on the ground to deal with. You understand? Opariansa, the midfield.
Yeah, okay.
You understand that? Opon Kroma in the Achim area.
Yes.
You have the Samuel Ukus in the Akwiapim zones.
Yeah.
You have the Bear Fees also in the Kofodia zone. So you understand that? So these are people who also understand the job on the ground, who have done it for a very long time, who are also very resourceful. Yeah. So if you are coming from the back, you need to come strong. you need not to just follow the normal politics that you do. You need to be scientific about it. You need to understand what works and what does not work. Okay. To have all these people, and even at that time, the president also in Chebi, you understand that?
Yes.
You know, you should know that the MPP was then headquartered in the Eastern region.
Yes.
So to come to confront all these people and still be able to get to 47%, then you should know that when we continue on that trajectory, we continue that framework, we will be able to get to the 50% that we have a dream of. Okay. So that decision was taken long ago. That there was no way I was not going to be the regional chairman again. Okay. It had always been that decision, whether the party allowed us to still continue to work in government or not. Mm-hmm. I was prepared that whatever the case, this was the decision that had been taken, you know, and we need to make sure that we execute that agenda. So it was a difficult decision for me because, you know, this is also my passion. This is also an opportunity to advance my career. You know, being a director general, you are working with almost all the stakeholders in that field. Mm-hmm. Those in academic, those who are practitioners and all that, including international organizations. Okay. Because, you know, regulators, they also work in regional blocks. Okay. So you have the opportunity to network with other regional director generals and all that. And they have so much respect for Ghana when it comes to this particular space, you know. So I'm very grateful. That's why I'm very grateful to the Honorable Minister, Sam George, because he has so much confidence in me. Letting me go was a problem for him. You know, it took him more than 3 months to get a replacement. Yes. Okay. You know, so now there's a replacement there.
But you're still working with...
Immediately on that day, he issued a letter to me that I should be a technical advisor, you know, because some of the work that I also do for him goes even beyond NITA. Okay. You know, there are things that we are doing in other agencies and even at the regional level. Okay. You know, for example, currently he's leading the development of a standard, a regional standard for big techs, that is large platforms, you know, TikTok and all that. You know that, for example, if you are in Ghana, you cannot monetize TikTok. Oh, okay. And he thinks that it is discriminatory and he wants to fight that. Okay. So, you know, things like that, he will let me do all the background research and all that, and then provide him with all the tools that he needs to.
There's a lot to talk about, but when you see the man behind me, means that my time is up.
Sure.
But I just wanted your view on, because you get to fix the delegates, right?
Yeah.
The Supreme Court has made a decision that perhaps the MPs will not face the delegates. Maybe the next flag bearer will not face them. Yeah. But you still get to face the delegates.
Yes.
What do you make of the Supreme Court decision, and whether are we demonizing the delegate system? What do you think?
Yes, so I have already publicly expressed my opinion. Okay. That is different from the party's position. Okay. You know that the party has been consistent that we should, as much as possible, allow every party person, registered party person in good standing to take part in our decision. Mm-hmm. And in fact, in 2015, I seconded that motion at NEC when it came up. Okay. So I've always been on the side of allowing everybody to vote. Mm-hmm. But the question that went to the Supreme Court was not answered. You know, and the Supreme Court cannot cure the pathologies of the delegate system. Okay. You know, the Supreme Court really cannot cure it.
The question was not answered.
Yes. He went in to ask for the interpretation of Article 55.5. Okay. And 55.5 says that political parties their activities must be democratic. Okay. But the framers of the Constitution were very deliberate not to prescribe a particular method of meeting that democratic standard. Okay. Because the framers were aware of several methods of
That can be used. Okay.
electing leaders.
Okay.
The representative democracy is a valid, accepted democratic method.
Okay.
And that is why we even have in our constitution representative institutions.
Okay.
The parliament is one, it's a representative institution, because not all of us get to take the decisions that parliament takes. Cabinet, for example, is also another. It's a representative institution. Even the judges who took that decision, the 5-2 decision, they did that in our state,
the people,
in the name of the people.
Yes.
So that is a well accepted democratic principle. Okay. So when you say that the delegate system, which is a representative system, is undemocratic or unconstitutional, then that is a straight shot at representative systems. Okay. You understand? That is my argument. Okay. Now, if we want to deal with monetization, okay, that is a different thing, because even if you look at the judgment that came, the judges themselves admit that letting everyone vote does not even guarantee that the money you understand that. But then they argue that it will disperse it, it will broaden it and make it difficult. Okay,
but it reduce its influence on it.
Exactly. But what it also means is that it's only people with deep pockets who can reach the many people who will always have their way. Okay, it will price out people who could possibly strongly participate because we have just the representatives, that is the delegates.
The deeper your pockets, the more likely you are to.
Now it is rather going to shift the gatekeeping to people with deeper pockets. And that does not solve the problem that our elders, our right-thinking elders who are rightly motivated because they are concerned about the increasing monocracy in our body politics. I'm sure they went to the court, the Supreme Court, with very good intentions that we need a problem that must be solved. But where they went is not where the solution is. And unfortunately, the Supreme Court could not also resist that temptation. Because I'm sure they also know, and all political parties understand this particular challenge. Okay. Because we have been there before. Political parties themselves, knowing these particular challenges, have consistently opened up and expanded their electoral college.
Yes, and they continue to
expand. Yes. So I think that the parties themselves, practically, if it's possible, will want to do that. Okay. They don't object to it. Okay.
If they get to the point,
exactly, because for example in NDC, when I started voting, we were voting 2 from each branch. Okay. So there's the chairman and the secretary. Then we expanded to 4. Okay. And then we expanded to 9. Okay. MPP started the same thing, 1, 2, and then to 5, and now they to 7. Okay. So if you look at the trajectory, now we are expanding.
Okay. You're getting closer to exactly where the Supreme Court is forcing the parties to go.
But you don't need a Supreme Court fiat to be able to achieve that. You need the parties to build their structures and reform together. Okay. Because once the parties themselves were doing, and like I said, in 2015, we experimented it. Yeah. And it was a disaster.
You were a secretary then?
I was a regional secretary then. It was a disaster. Now you will find out that you can expand. But when you expand also, you must also deal with a lot of challenges that will come with it. Apart from the fact that you are now only expanding the beneficiaries of the so-called money system that we want to get rid of. You are only expanding the rich, the people who benefit from it. Again, now because of that, people who cannot get the logistics to be able to move will now be priced out. Okay. Because if for a constituency conference, you only need just one center to organize an election. Now, if you are going to do everybody voting in a constituency, the best you can do is to do electoral areas.
Okay.
That will mean that across the country, instead of having, for example, 276 polling centers, you may have to deal with over 4,000 or more polling centers.
Okay.
Political parties are logistically constrained, and the government does not also fund political parties. So these are challenges, practical challenges that the political parties will face. But at the end of the day, if you read the judgment again, the judgment, brought the definition of who is a party member of good standing. They subjected that also to the party's constitution.
So the party has
so
to
the
decide.
party itself will decide that, okay, my honest opinion is that if we want to deal with money politics, we must be honest with ourselves as a people. We know the people who engage in money politics.
Okay.
Are we ready to sanction them? If those allegations come in with evidence, how do we react to it?
Okay. So you're suggesting that so far the parties haven't shown a commitment.
Exactly. And even the state itself.
Okay.
Because we heard that OSP was even investigating some people who were allegedly involved in money politics during the MPP primaries and all that.
Okay.
What has happened to it?
Okay. We have taken too much of DJ Abega and Cool J's time.
We are
Today
grateful to
is
him.
it's a special Wednesday. On Wednesdays we do reggae on the mid-morning show. So they are taking over with Reggae Wednesday. We have to come back ahead of the regional elections.
Surely.
Which will be in October. So
I'll
we'll
be
speak
back
to him ahead of the regional elections in October. Dr. Makoliva Kevor is Eastern Regional Chairman of the NDC. He has unfinished business in the Eastern region. So he's sticking to that position once the delegates to trust him once again with that position for another 4 years. We're talking about many other issues. Thank you very much for making time to listen to us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Mama, praise the Lord.
Hey, Pastor.
Hallelujah. The treasure de who sit temu here. Meanwhile, be only according to
Hey, Pastor. If we say me kunu fa, me do CB men's capsules. Na me so me